Hi everybody, Alexis here. I just wanted to give you a little footnote to yesterday. I found out that the lady in white who was terrorizing myself and my brother had actually committed suicide in our house. Her heart was broken when her lover did not return until he married the lady who lived across the street, and she killed herself by hanging herself over the railing. That's why she never came downstairs. She stayed upstairs all the time because that's where she had killed herself. So, I'm going to tell you about a house here in Michigan. Actually, it's a castle. I won't tell you the location, but we call it the Crystal Castle because of all of the chandeliers that were in the place. Every stone in this house was brought over from England. The house is now close to 200 years old. Our first visit there, when we walked in the front door, it was myself, Bob, Brent, Annie, John, Amanda Lynn, and we were setting down our equipment right in the front door past the foyer when Annie froze in her footsteps, just stopped and froze. We turned and looked at her and said, "Hey, come on, bring the rest of the equipment in." She said, "Do you not see her? You can't see her?" There was someone apparently standing right in front of her, talking to her. We didn't see her. We didn't hear her. Only Annie, with the rest of us standing right there. She described a woman wearing a bun on the back of her head, very stern looking, with period clothing on from around the 1800s. Terrorized her, terrified, but she moved on as soon as the woman disappeared. The house had two large staircases that went from the left and the right. This place had a full basement that was maybe, oh gosh, 4 or 5 houses. Large. 4 stories, including an attic. As I walked up the staircase to my left to start setting down the cameras, something pinched me on my arm. I came back downstairs and I had a bruise on my arm. I, being the lead, told everybody where to put the cameras and what to set up and how to set them up and where I wanted them located. Apparently, this entity in the house did not like a female being in control. I walked back up the staircase. This time, I go to my right. I get pushed in my back. Two big hands, ice cold, push me in my back. Thank God I was going up the stairs and not down the stairs, or I would have fallen down a full staircase. Instead, I just fell forward and I got up, took out my little notebook, looked at the time, wrote down the time, and wrote down what happened. Kept going up the staircase. I called for one of the other investigators to come upstairs and bring me a camera. When I turned around, there was a man standing there that was not with us and who was not the caretaker. I said, "Hi, how are you? My name is Alexis. I mean you no disrespect. We're just here to investigate the house. And if you have something to say, please say it. But please do not push us down the stairs. We mean you no disrespect." He smiled at me, turned, and walked away. Went into one of the bedrooms. The investigator, Bob, who saw him also, went behind him. He disappeared through the door. We found out later that this was Mr. Williams, who was the original owner of the house, and that was his wife who was staring at my other investigator. She was a very stern lady, and Mr. Williams was a sweetheart, but he did not like women being in control. Back in those days, women knew their place and they stayed in their place. So the fact that I'm a female and I'm telling men what to do pissed him off. Until I spoke to him and told him, we mean you no disrespect. From that point on, he stopped pinching me, but he would grab my arm every time we showed up at Crystal. And I would have a bruise in the exact same spot every time. Right hand, right arm, up near my muscles, near my armpit. I would always look down and see a purple mark, but I would not feel him grab me anymore. In this place, we would hear children playing. We actually saw a tricycle, one of the first tricycles ever made, coming down the hallway. The pedals were turning, but no one was on it. That would happen to us a lot. This house is what we would call a living cell. You'll go in one room, come out, and where you think you're coming out at is into the hallway. It may be another room. We would learn to mark our spaces, our places very carefully. That same night, we were sitting in one of the bedrooms when the closet door opened and a ball rolled out. We rolled the ball back in, the ball would roll back out. We're checking the floors to make sure that they're level and the ball is not just rolling because it's on an uneven floor. I even took the ball and put it in the back of the closet. When I did that, something grabbed my hand and giggled. I learned that it was one of their daughters who liked to play jokes on people. The ball then rolled back out and stopped right in front of me. Fantastic. To know that children will still play with you even though they passed over. We found out that her name was Elizabeth Ann, and she died of an extreme fever at the age of 7. But she still liked to play. That's one of my adventures at Crystal. I'll tell you some more tomorrow. Bye. And remember, put only good and positive and love out there into the universe, and only good and love and positive will come back at you. Peace out.